Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to patreon.com/the Derrick Lamon experience. This is the last word, of course. For the second week in a row, it's audio only, no video. I apologize. I will be getting back to video soon. I am just a little under the weather at the moment, so I'd rather not have my camera on recording, but I still wanted to give you guys a show. Not sure how long this episode's going to be. It's just a very interesting topic, and I kind of saw this coming. So, the good folks over at Video Games Chronicle are reporting that PS5 PlayStation VR2 is getting a permanent price cut by $150 next month. Sony will be cutting the price of the headset starting March of 2025. Sony has confirmed that starting in March, the new price for the PlayStation VR2 will be $399 United States, American dollars. The original price when the headset first launched was $549.99. Sony is also releasing a bundle containing a PlayStation VR2 and free PlayStation Store voucher code for Horizon Call of the Mountain, which will also cost $399, like the standard PlayStation VR2. Quote, for those of you who've been waiting for the opportunity to jump into PlayStation VR2 and experience what this generation's innovative virtual reality system has to offer, we are happy to share some great news, the company said in a statement on the official PlayStation blog. Starting in March, we're reducing the recommended retail price of PSVR2. It added with recently released titles like Alien Rogue Incursion, Skydance's Behemoth, and Metro Awakening VR, exciting new game launches on the way, including Aces of Thunder, Dreams of Another Hitman, World of Assassination, and The Midnight Walk. It's never been a better time to jump into the action with PSVR2. Using the PSVR2 PC adapter, players will also have access to browse, buy, and play thousands of virtual reality games on Steam. In addition, with recent update to PSVR2, it now supports low latency hand tracking is now supported, which allows developers to create games that track a player's hand position and movement through the cameras embedded on the PSVR2 headset. Through this new feature, players will be able to experience intuitive controls in supported games such as Waltz of the Wizard. It's a fantastic time to dive into the exciting world of PSVR2 with more immersive experiences still to come. PlayStation VR2 was originally released 2 years ago on February 22nd of 2023. Sony had said it sold just under 600,000 units in the first 6 weeks, but since then hasn't been forthcoming with sales data for the headset. Sony reportedly paused production of PlayStation VR2 in March of 2024 in order to deal with a backlog of unsold units. While PlayStation VR2 has had a handful of exclusives such as VR versions of Resident Evil 4 Remake and Resident Evil Village, to date only 2 PlayStation VR2 games have been published by Sony Interactive Entertainment. That is Horizon Call of the Mountain and Firewall Ultra, as well as a VR update for Gran Turismo 7. Here's the thing. This thing is dying, and they're doing everything they can to save it. They paused production last year to get some of those units that had not been sold out the door. Now they're cutting the price, which leads me to believe that they didn't get a lot of those units out the door. They created the PC adapter so this headset will work with Steam. I still don't think it helped them out. A lot of people I know for Christmas, I'd probably count 5 to 6 people. Hey, what do you want for Christmas? What are you doing for Christmas? I want a MetaQuest 2. I want a VR headset. We have a raffle at work. We have one in January. We have one in the summer as well. There is a VR headset in each of the last 2 raffles, and they weren't PlayStation 2 VR headsets. This thing is now being sold starting next month. Well, at the time you guys hear this will actually be March. But this thing is now being sold at the same price as the launch of the PSVR1 for the PlayStation 4 generation of PlayStation hardware. The PlayStation 5 Pro, $700. The PlayStation 4 Pro, $400. PlayStation 5 disc version, $500. PlayStation 5 digital version, $400. So the price of everything has gone up, albeit the digital version of the PS5 at launch. Now the price on this is going back down when the price of the PlayStation 5 has not gone down. The slim PlayStation 5 is still the same. The PlayStation 5 Pro is not going to go down in price because the thing has only been out, 4 months at this point, 4 or 5 months? Yet the price of the PlayStation VR 2 unit is going down. And even with a bundle of voucher, now for Horizon Call of the Mountain, which I heard is not a good game, even with that voucher, which should at least make the price go up another $50, $60, you're still getting it at the $399 price. Sony's not giving away stock for free. They're just not going to do that. Essentially, this time it may seem that way. I don't know if this thing is profitable at this point. 600,000 units within the first 6 weeks, that's big sales numbers. Do you know why? Because It's FOMO. It's fear of missing out. People who are super duper big PlayStation heads, even bigger than I am, and I'm a super duper PlayStation guy, but these people are bigger. I have the Sony PlayStation VR 1. It gave me really bad motion sickness. After I played it, I couldn't do anything for like 2 days at a time. So I never went back to revisit it. There are not enough super duper dope games in VR that I really want to visit. Some of them just, it's like you're floating hands and stuff like that. That's not a good immersive experience. I'm sorry, it isn't. Let me play Madden in VR or NBA 2K in VR, right? At least in Madden, you could be the quarterback and you can sit in the pocket all day. You can read the defense. You can go through progressions and stuff like that and then throw the ball. It's hard for me to imagine that they can't do that when Madden that came out on the Wii, you could throw the ball using the nunchuck. I had Madden on my Xbox 360 at that time, but I was like, no, this is fucking cool, and I want to see how this works. So you're goddamn right, I went and bought the game to throw with the Wii remote. Why? Because it was fucking fun, and I thought it would be cool. The Wii came out in 2006, the same weekend as the PlayStation 3, consequently. How is it 2025 and there's not a VR version of John Madden football? And 2K is a bit different because you have to run around a basketball court, right? Fine. Maybe you can move the player around with the analog stick, but then when somebody passes to you, you could actually take the shot using the VR and the camera. I think that would be really dope. Maybe NHL. I don't know. Maybe there's a goalie mode in VR or there's a sniper mode or something like that. There's so many places they could take this VR. Everybody's like, but they want these different type of experiences, which is totally cool. But I think you're going to have to start squeezing more out of this. Now, the problem is for the developers, they're like, especially games like Madden, which is an annual title. Those developers are working on that game. As soon as the game ships, they start making plans for the next game. What can we add to the next game? What do we need? What it's not being used, let's take it away, right? Because they have the numbers. Believe me, they have the numbers. So they know what stuff that you're using versus the stuff you're not using. It'd be crazy to ask them to develop a whole nother game mode for a VR headset, even though I think it would be a good idea. But essentially, like I said, once they ship one Madden game, it's on to the next game. It's literally on to the next game. That's why shipping an annual title can't be exactly ideal. That's why now for Call of Duty, it's different because they rotate from studio to studio every 3 years. So while Treyarch is making the game, Sledgehammer's got to work on something that's not going to come for 3 years, or Raven, or vice versa. It's a little different. Versus Tiburon. I think Tiburon still makes Madden. I'm not sure. I don't know. But I would have to see more super duper cool experiences coming for the PlayStation VR 2 to even dream about investing in this. Now, I'm not going to buy one either way because I know they said that it's better on this one. I don't know. The PSVR, the initial one, for the PlayStation 4, it made me sick. And even thinking about it right now, I can kind of feel the motion sickness. Like, that's how crazy that headset was, right? I remember being perfectly fine and playing Resident Evil 7 in VR. And when you like first get in the house, you go up the stairs and it's like, oh, no big deal. When you go back down, because you're looking down, and there really are, like, the stairs are there visually, but your feet, your sensors in your body are like, these aren't real stairs. You're just looking down at a slant, and this is going to fuck with you. I remember playing Project Cars in VR on a Friday night, and I had motion sickness all the way till Monday morning. It wasn't ideal. Now, is this a good deal? Yeah, if you want VR, $400, yeah, for sure it's a good fucking deal. For sure it's a good deal, but I've already been down that road. I don't know how good they've improved it to where I wouldn't feel like that the next time I played it. Now, if somebody I knew had a PlayStation 5 and had a PSVR2 and they're like, no, try it out. And I tried it out and the tracking and everything was better and I didn't feel like I wanted to throw up afterwards, then by all means, hell yeah. $400, not bad. But they also have to show me more experiences that are coming to the PSVR2 to make it worthwhile. And that's the problem I have. I don't think that we're going to see those experiences. VR is a very niche thing. It's very, very niche. And I don't know if we'll ever get a developer to put all their eggs into the basket and make a AAA super fucking VR banger, right? I don't think we're going to get a God of War in VR or Last of Us in VR, or Halo in VR, or Gears of War in VR, or Uncharted in VR. Like we have I think there was Call of Duty VR. There was a Call of Duty flight mission. That same time, that same Friday night that I played Project Cars in VR, I remember playing this Star Wars flight game in VR. No, there was a Call of Duty flight mission in VR where you got to fly like an F-18 or something like that, and you can like look behind you and stuff like that. But that, along with the Project Cars, made me extremely sick, right? And you have GTA and VR. Like, no, I'm good. I'll pass. I will pass because I don't want to blow chunks everywhere and feel like shit for the next few days. And also, not for nothing, this was 2017, 2018, right? Almost 5 or 6 years ago. I'm older now than I was then, clearly, because that's how age works. And every day something feels a little off, but I'm making it through. But I guarantee you, if I put that headset on and it made me feel a way, I would puke everywhere. I haven't played a Dynasty Warriors game because I remember playing Hyrule Warriors and getting a headache and being like, God, my head hurts. And I turned the game off and I sat there for a while, took some Tylenol, and then my headache's gone. Tylenol must have worked. Turned the game back on and I started feeling sick again. And I said, holy shit, it's the fucking game. And then lo and behold, I Google it and there are other people talking about, playing Hyrule Warriors makes me really, really sick. So I've been down that road with video games. I'm not willing to put myself back in a position to play something based on FOMO when I know that something is probably going to have some detrimental fucking effects on me and my body, at least for a couple of days. So while I think it's cool that they're dropping this price, I don't think it's for me. I still haven't seen a VR experience that would really blow my socks off. I'd have to try one out again to see how I dealt with the motion sickness and stuff like that, the after effects. And I just don't think I'm going to get that because I don't know anybody. Like, I know people online, like people I've met on podcasts and stuff like that. They're like, I got a PSVR2. I don't know anybody where I live within my inner circle that has one. And I haven't heard anything about it. But again, they paused production last year to clear out some of the stock that they had. And then here they are a year later, dropping the price by $100. What does that tell you about this unit? Basic economics would tell you that the thing is still not selling well, so they're doing everything they can to cut the prices. The Virtual Boy by Nintendo was like the first kind of VR thing. That thing was like in bargain bins at Toys R Us less than a year later than a year after its launch. Luckily, Nintendo had the Nintendo 64 coming that quick that it didn't, I'm not saying it didn't affect them, but people forgot about it really quickly because the Nintendo 64 came. And also the Sony PlayStation was out there as well. I don't know. VR is still a tricky thing. I haven't seen anything in VR that absolutely blew my socks off. The games do not look as good. The frame rate is not great. I just think that people need to temper their expectations. Like, I'm going to get a VR unit for this. Like, if that's what you really want to play, then go ahead. But if you think you're like, I saw a commercial, it kind of looked cool, you better be sure, because this is $400. That's a decent amount of money for something that kind of looks cool. And that's something that could also leave you sick, because that's exactly where it left me. So I don't know. I just don't see myself investing in this. It would be very interesting. It would have to be a situation where the price went down again, which I don't think is going to happen. Or maybe I fell into some money and it's like, oh, fuck it. Why the fuck not? Right. But I don't see that happening. I'm just being completely honest with you. I don't. So I'm going to have to say I'm the person who's probably never going to have a PlayStation VR2 unit, not just for the sake of creating a cool looking gaming room and stuff like that, where people have a bunch of old consoles and stuff. Like behind me, I couldn't figure out what to do with my PlayStation 4 Pro and my Xbox One X. So I literally have my PS4 sitting next to the Spider-Man Collector's Edition box for the PS4, PlayStation, DualSense. I'm sorry, not DualSense. The DualShock 4, a blue one with the Spider-Man statue. And then I have an Xbox One X next to a Halo helmet with the very first Xbox Elite controller, right? Just repurposing stuff. But my PSVR2, my initial PSVR, I don't even have it out for display. I guess I should at some point display it like, hey, this is part of PlayStation history, but not right now. Like, there's no need to. But yeah, I look at this thing and I'm thinking to myself, seems like they were unsuccessful. They tapped into a market that they thought they could really, do well in, and they haven't seemed to have done well. And we're starting to see that. I don't remember if the first PlayStation VR got a price drop. I really don't remember. But this one, we're 2 years in, and it's just not looking good. It's not looking good. So I don't know. That's all the time I got for you guys today. Of course, I like to keep these episodes a little shorter. If you have any questions, I'm gonna I will leave the email address in the episode details so you guys can email me if you have questions or anything like that, or suggestions or anything like that. As long as they're not like really fucking crazy and stupid and you're not saying some disparaging things about me and my family, then I will read them on the show. Otherwise, absolutely not. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end this like I end everything else. Believe in yourself first and foremost, because if you don't believe in yourself, of course, nobody else will believe in you. As always, my name is Derrick Lamon Jackson, and that is my time. You'll have a good one. Peace out.